Will it be okay if we could reduce speaking, communicating, influencing the masses into few simple but understandable steps that will completely change the way you speak, the way you present, and will influence your profit margin? In fact, in this session, I want to share with you what I call the four major essentials to become an outstanding speaker that I learned from Jim Rohn. Yes, it will blow your mind as it blew my mind, and it will catapult your speaking to a whole new level. That is very important. This morning, as I was doing my sports routine, I was also listening to an audio program, and it happened to be a classic. It was Take Charge of Your Life of Jim Rohn. And as I was going through my level 6 cardio workout, he talked about something that almost stopped me in my workout. It was in the section when he was talking about communication, and he shared something that was very powerful that I decided that I have to share it with you. I have to share it with someone. It's so powerful. It's so mind-boggling. And I know and I believe that when I will share it with you, it will also blow your mind. And he summarized public speaking in these simple quotes. I want to read it to you. A quote from Jim Rohn that I got from that audio program, Take Charge of Your Life. It's a classic. You can find it even in YouTube. It's free. So he summarized it, those four major essentials to become an outstanding speaker, into these simple quotes I want to read to you. You cannot speak what you do not know. You can't share what you don't feel. And you can't translate what you don't have. And you can't give what you don't possess. Let me repeat it. You cannot speak what you do not know. You can't share what you don't feel. And you can't translate what you don't have. And you can't give what you don't possess. Wow, wow, wow. I will explain to you, and it will make sense. And you will see how powerful communication is. Because I used to say this: every success is grounded in communication. Why? Because there is nothing you will want to achieve. There is no dream you will want to realize or to bring to completion without the intervention of someone else. All of us, we need other people to succeed. We need other people to achieve what we want to achieve. We need other people to fulfill our purpose. We need other people to bring our dream to pass. And to bring people in is through communication. There is no such thing as a self-made person, a self-made leader, a self-made entrepreneur, a self-made athlete, a self-made millionaire. It doesn't exist. We are who we are. We have what we have because other people helped us along the way. And if you want to be successful at what you are doing, you have to take into consideration improving your skill in communication. And if you are like me, a coach, a trainer, you have to build the skill not just of communicating, but of communicating to influence the masses. That is very important. There is nothing you want to achieve that will not demand the intervention of other people, and to bring them in, to sold them into your vision, into your idea, into what you want to do, you will have to use the skill of communication. That is why I used to say that every success is grounded in communication. Everything you want to achieve, you will have to do it through communication. Selling is communication. Leading people is communication. Ministering as a pastor is communication. Many things. Coaching is communication. Speaking is communication. Almost everything that you will need in this life, you will have to get it from other people. Now, people used to ask this question: who has my money? If you want to increase your money, if you want to build your wealth, you have to ask the question, that is, who has my money? Because the money you want to have, the money you want to create, the money you want to earn will not fall from the sky. The money you are looking for is right now in someone else's pockets. And how will you succeed in helping that person understand that he needs or she needs you? She needs to give you that money she worked for very hard. How? By communicating, by helping them understand that what you are about to do with that money, or what you are about to give to them in compensation of that money, is something more valuable than the money they have in their bank account or in their pocket. It's about communication. Communication is everything. To have a great marriage is communication. To raise children is communication. Communication is powerful. Now, before I give you the 4 major essentials, because there are 4 things that I got from that quote that I call the 4 major essentials for outstanding speaking. But before I give you that, I will give you, first of all, what communication is according to Jim Rohn. All of that can be found in that quote that I read to you. So the first thing, according to Jim Rohn, about communication is that communication, first of all, is speaking. When we talk about communicating, first thing you have to understand is about speaking. It means that you have to release a sound, to issue a sound, a vibration, to issue a word, to issue information. There is something you have to release. There is something you have to issue out of your mouth or in a different way, and that signal, that vibration, that sound, that word, that information has to be heard by someone. So communication, first of all, is about speaking. It's about issuing a sound, a vibration, a signal, and information, something, and someone has to hear it. If the person doesn't hear what you are speaking or what you want to communicate, there is no communication. Communication starts with speaking, with transferring a sound from one person to another. For people to be touched, for people to be moved, they have, first of all, to hear your message. That is why, according to Jim Rohn, communication, first of all, is about speaking. And that leads me to the first major essential for outstanding speaking, and it is knowledge. You have to know what you are talking about. Many people used to say that you have to fake it until you make it. But in communication, if you want to be great, if you want to be outstanding, you have to understand that outstanding and greatness happens in the field of authenticity. You have to share what you know. It's about knowing, not just knowing because you read it, but knowing because you have applied it, knowing because you have experienced it, knowing because you went through. It's about experiential knowledge. It's not knowledge that you got from just reading. It is the knowledge that you got from experiencing. You know, I can know how to play piano by reading a book. And that knowledge is different from someone who knows how to play piano and got that knowledge by playing piano, by practicing piano. And that is very important for us to understand. If you don't understand that, you will have difficulties, because it's more than just speaking. And I will show it to you as we move on. But you have to understand that that knowledge is not about just reading. It's not about just listening to someone. It's about experiencing what you got. That is why even Jesus said to his disciples that you will stay here, you will receive power, the Holy Spirit coming upon you. You will receive power to be my witness. Who is a witness? A witness is someone who experienced something, he saw something, he felt something, he went through something, and he shares it with other people. So, first thing, the first major essential is knowledge. The second thing about speak communication that Jim Rohn talked about in that audio program is that communication is about sharing. And I add to it that it is mutual sharing. Why? Because for people to receive what you want to share with them, and now when we talk about sharing, I want you to understand that I'm talking about sharing in an emotional way, or it's about sharing emotions, feelings. And for you to transfer your feelings and your emotions and your energy to your audience, first of all, you have to share their feelings, their emotions. How? By putting yourself in their shoes to see their lives and their situations from their perspective, to see as they see, not just to see as they see, but to feel what they are feeling. When you communicate to an audience, and in your communication you let them know that you understand what they are going through, because you are seeing as they are seeing and you are feeling as they are feeling, I want to tell you something. It's magical. It's divine. When people felt understood, when people felt perceived, those people will open up, and from that moment they will be able to share also your feeling. Because when I communicate, I'm communicating to transfer feelings, because nothing will change unless emotions are transferred. If there is no transfer of emotions, of feelings, of energy, nothing will change in their lives. Because what moves people into action is not information. What moves people into action is emotion. And for me to transfer to them that emotion that will cause them to take action, I have first of all to share their emotions. I have to understand their situation. I have to feel what they feel. And when they understand that I feel what they feel, they will open up and they will get also my feelings. And the feelings I will be transferring to them through my communication will cause them to take action that will lead them to transformation. And that leads me to the second major essential. That is empathy. Empathy is the capacity to put yourself in other people's shoes. It's the capacity to understand the world from their perspective. It's the capacity to see as they see and to feel as they feel. And that is very important. There are many people who want to influence an audience they are not empathic with. And that is something you have to understand. You cannot really move someone you do not understand. If you want to inspire people, you have to be inspired by them. In fact, the inspiration that will give you the knowledge, the capacity, and all you need to inspire your audience has to come from them. You get the inspiration to inspire them from them, not just from your message, not just from your experience. There is an inspiration that you get from your experience, but there is another inspiration that you get from knowing what they went through, what they are going through, what they are feeling, what is their current situation. It will give you the inspiration, the ideas you need to make your message more powerful, more impactful. And that is why the second major essential is empathy. Now, to share with you the third major essential, I want to share with you, first of all, like the first two, what communication is, according to Jim Rohn. According to Jim Rohn, communication is about translating. When we talk about translating, we are talking about turning something from one type to another, from one form to another, from one language to another, like from English to French, or like from English to French, from gas to liquid, from liquid to what? To solid. That is translation. It's about conversion. It's about changing from one state to another, from one form to another. That is about translation. And one of the best way for us to achieve that is to avoid technical babble, to avoid speaking in a technical way. We have to use the language of our audience. We have to use their lingo. If you don't understand that, it will be very difficult for you to influence them. I know a friend of mine who went to a biblical college, is a pastor, and at that time I didn't have any training in pastoring, in ministering, or in ministry, or any of those kind of things. And when he came back from his training, one day he was speaking, he was teaching the congregation. And at the end of his speaking, people came to me and asked me. I didn't understand anything he was talking about. In fact, I was sleeping. How come in the world he went to a biblical college and we cannot understand him? And at that moment, I tried to explain why they didn't understand, because I didn't have all the knowledge that I have now. I was saying to them, no, it's because you are tired, it's because you are distracted, it's because many things. But after many years, when I reflected on that, as I was thinking about that, I understood that it was talking about great things, because me, I was listening and I was really getting a lot of information from his teaching. But the fact was that he was speaking to an audience using a language that didn't fit with their language. And that is why for them, it was like he was talking foolishness. They were sleeping. Why? Because he didn't take the time to translate his message into their language. That is the first thing. The second thing, and that is why it's important for you to have experience to translate. The best way to translate your message into their language, it is to use your experience, and use your experience, your analogies, and from those experience and analogies and stories, find a way to match your story and your analogy with their story and their analogy. That is the best way for you to make that translation. And the third major key from translating is experience. That is very important. We talked about first major, essential knowledge. The second, empathy. The third is experience. You have to have an experience in what you are talking about. Why is it important? Because when you have experienced what you are talking about, you will have stories to illustrate your point or to make your point. You will find it will be easy for you to create and to find analogies, because you have an experience in your topic. When somebody doesn't have an experience, I know that because I tried it. I tried to speak about things that I hadn't experienced on that. It was good in an informative way. I was sharing because, I'm also a lecturer and a researcher. I'm teaching at university in management science. And one of the ways we are trained through books. So what I teach at the university is things that I got from book. I'm not obliged, it's not mandatory for me to become a lecturer to have an experience in the topic I'm teaching. I just need to have the intelligence to understand what is in the book, and I just have to have techniques to be able to translate or to teach it, to communicate it to the students. And you cannot really move people by that. If you want to move people, it happens at the level of the emotions. And for the emotion to get moved or to get stimulated, you need to have an experience in your topic. And that experience will give you a treasure of stories. Many people who are complaining that they don't have stories in what they are speaking, it is because they don't have experience. If you have an experience in what you are talking about, you will have stories from your own experience, and you will have stories from the experiences of the other people that you helped. And that is the best way also for you to translate what you want or your message into their language. It's about using their lingo, and it's about using your stories from your experience. That is why the third major essential for outstanding speaking is experience. Now, communication is also the fourth and last one. According to Jim Rohn, communication is about giving. And when we are talking about giving, we are talking about serving. And it talks about something very powerful. It's about being a servant. When you step on a stage, you are there to serve, not to sell. I know you have something to sell afterward, but I want you to understand you are here to sell, to serve, because when you serve them well, you will sell them well also. You are here to serve them. I think it's Frank Kern who used to say that show people that you can help them by actually helping them. When you step on stage, help them, serve them. The mentality, the attitude of a servant is the attitude of someone who does his homework. When you come into a restaurant, the first thing the waiter does when it comes over to you is to ask you, what do you want? What do you need? What is your problem? How can I help you? And that is the mentality. When Jim Rohn is talking about giving, he's talking also about serving. It's about understanding the needs of your audience, understanding their problems, understanding their pains, understanding the pain they want to get away from or the desire they want to move toward. You have to understand that, because when you understand their need, it will be easy for you to bring solution to their need. And that is why the four major essential for outstanding speaking is mastery. Masters understand the need of their audience, and they have the solution to provide to meet that need. And that is very important. And when I'm talking about mastery, I'm not talking about forcibly certification. Good, great. You need certification. If you can have certification, it's great. But I'm talking about mastery also that you get from your experience, from your expertise, from your gift, from your life experience, from your successes, from your losses. Let me ask you this, and I used to ask this to my coaching clients. When you receive advice from your parents concerning how to raise your children, I want to ask you this question. Do they have any certification in parenting? Most of the time the answer is no. But why are you listening to them? You are listening to them because they have an experience in that domain. They raised you. They have almost, for some of us, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years or even more years of experience in parenting. That is why you go to them instead of going to a coach who has a program about parenting, because you know that they have an experience, and that experience is their credentials. That experience is their certification. That is the same thing with you. There are things you know, there are things you went through, there are things you experienced that give you the certification. And that is very important. When I'm talking about mastery, I'm talking about the fact that you understand the need of your audience, and your life story, your experience, your successes, your losses, what you went through gives you the credibility and the credentials and the certification to be able to solve their problem. So that are the four essentials that I got from Jim Rohn. First of all is knowledge. Know what you are talking about. Second is empathy. You have to learn to put yourself in their shoes to see as they see the world and to feel what they feel. You have to see from their perspective. The third, and that is experience. You can talk about many things, but if you want an outstanding speaking career, you have to talk about something you have an experience in, and that is very important. And the fourth thing is about mastery. Understand their need, do your homework, understand their situation, and look in your life story, in your perspective, in what you went through, from wisdom to bring solution to their need. If those four essentials, you apply them in your speaking, you will see how your speaking will make more impact and will create more opportunities for you to make fortune. This is what I wanted to share with you. In fact, I want to tell you that I work with people who want to use the skill of speaking to make more impact and make more money. Do you know that coaching is about speaking? Do we know that training is about speaking? Do we know that create digital courses is about speaking? Do you know that writing a book is about speaking? Do you know that leading a mastermind is about speaking? I help people look in their life experience and extract from their life experience wisdom that is valuable to the marketplace, and use that in a compelling message to impact their market, to bring value to the market, and also create opportunities to make money as they are making impact. If you want someone to help you, that is my expertise, that is my domain. If you want someone to help you turn your life experience, your success, your loss, what you went through, into an instrument to make impact and make fortune through speaking, then you are at the right place. Go in the description section, click on the link. I will have a conversation with you to see if my offer matches with your intention, aspiration, and motivation. If there is a matching, I will give you all the information you need financially, practically, for us to work together. And by the way, don't forget, like this video, subscribe to our channel to never miss the next videos, and share this video with people you know may need this kind of content. And as I usually say, it was Zoe from Cameroon, and I wish you success.